So for obvious reasons, you probably wanted to work on this movie because of Ben Affleck.
Yes.
You had never worked with him before. Did you meet him before?
I actually met him because the first time I ever came to LA, I was flown in to do a screen test with Ben. So that was my first experience of Hollywood, was with him when I was 21. And I didn't get the part, but we knew each other and would see each other from time to time, and I felt like it was inevitable that we would do something one day because he'd championed me for a few things.
That's amazing. What was the screen test for?
For a John Woo movie called Paycheck. So funny looking back.
So then acting alongside him for this movie, what was it like? Did you guys joke about that a lot?
Yeah, we talked about it. We'd seen each other so many times since then that we'd kind of got over talking about it, but I've always admired him hugely as an actor and loved his movies as a director, as we all have, and I just think the opportunity to work with him in both capacities was just fantastic.
Right. And I feel like Emma really becomes two different characters almost in the very beginning of the film and later in the film. I don't want to give too much away, but she really kind of goes through this transformation and she really is two different characters.
Yeah. I think as an actor, the arc of that was really appealing. I think if there's a journey, it's fantastic and you have to map it out. And if you have limited screen time, you really have to think about where you're going, what's happened in between. I had a whole backstory for the whole thing that made sense to me, but she was really textured and dangerous and interesting to play. I loved her.
When you create a backstory for a character, are you doing that all on your own, or do you kind of consult with Ben and other people that you're acting and working with?
It really depends on the director. Some directors like to sit down and work on it with you. In this case, it was based on a novel, and the novel was very informative in terms of who she was and little idiosyncrasies, the way that she'd move her eyes, or things that I could absorb from the book. And I talk with Ben about stuff, but on the whole, I do stupid things. When you walk into a room, where have you come from? It doesn't mean anything. No one else needs to know that, but it just gives some context to every action, and I like to get that detailed.
What are the types of vibes that are on set for a Ben Affleck film? Like, what kind of vibes are there?
Ben honestly created the most happy set, other than Clint Eastwood, that I've ever been on. They're very similar. They're very collaborative and very relaxed, and I think a lot of the direction is done in casting the right people and assembling the right crew. For me, I think it had different chapters, but my chapter in this film was joyful, and we laughed our heads off often.
And were they set pieces or real locations?
A mixture of both.
Because it looks so different, obviously, because it's in the 1920s, but I'm wondering, because there are so many outside locations as well, where were you finding these locations that still looked 1920s?
Well, they would dress them. There are some kind of deco buildings in Boston, and we shot in some of them, but then obviously internally, the production designer would, Jess Gonshaw, who is a genius and could turn this room into anything you would want. So it was a combination, but then the sets at Warner Brothers were as convincing. We had whole streets that were built with speakeasies, and there was really no stone left unturned. It was phenomenal.
Even the elevator bank over here is all dressed up.
Yeah, when you arrive, you feel like you're stepping into a little speakeasy.
I feel like I kind of stepped into Live by Night.
Yes,
I had never experienced that before.
Nor
it was
have
amazing.
I love it. I want to do the interviews there. It's so nice.
Let's go move it to the bar.
Exactly.
Made in Hollywood.
Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Made in Hollywood TV. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. And for the next awesome video, click right here. Click in that box right there. Super easy.